Now, this video isn't going to be about how having another referendum is the only democratic option available to us. This video is about how, if we do have that referendum, it needs to be between the deal we just spent 2 years negotiating and membership of the EU, and cannot be either deal versus no deal or no deal versus remain. So quickly, why can't it be deal versus no deal? In 2016, 52% voted to leave the EU, but without saying what that would actually look like. Could be no deal, could be a Canada-style deal, could be Norway. So if you have a referendum between leave options, you're finding out what the majority of only 52% actually wanted in 2016. That means pretending that the half of the country that doesn't want Brexit at all simply doesn't exist. And mathematically, unless 93% of Brexit voters want a specific version of Brexit, then more people voted to stay in the European Union. So that's deal versus no deal. What about no deal versus remain? Here's how that would play out. Someone like me would go on TV and say there is no country in the world that doesn't have a trade deal with its closest neighbours, because trade halves as distance doubles. All countries do most of their trade with countries that are physically close by. Even Donald Trump, when he started his trade war with the rest of the world, he left Canada and Mexico out of it because not even Donald Trump was crazy enough to damage trade with his closest neighbours. Which means that a no-deal Brexit is doing something that every single successful economy in the world has chosen specifically not to do. Basic logic tells you that that's bad for our economy and that will make people poorer. And the response to that will be, and you've seen it several times because every single Leave campaigner has done this, don't worry, no deal is only temporary, we'll get a great deal afterwards.
Name me one country that is in the WTO rules that doesn't have a trade agreement with another country. Name me one country.
No, of course, because WTO rules are the basis from which you begin. Now, I believe the only way we can get a free trade deal with the European Union without the attached politics is first to leave,
Nigel,
and then they'll come running.
Couple problems with that. One, they tried that in 2016.
Norway chooses its own deal. We will choose our own deal. We're in a much stronger negotiating position than Norway ever has been.
They told us, vote Brexit, you'll get a great deal. We'll hold all the cards. The main difference now is they've already been proven wrong.
I think this is the worst deal in history.
Even worse, a no deal will put us in an even weaker negotiating position. Just do the maths for yourself. If we exit the free trading arrangements of the EU, that means that trade with our 27 closest geographic neighbours becomes more expensive. But what does a no deal do to the EU? It means that trade with only one of their geographic neighbours becomes more expensive. On basic maths alone, no deal hurts us more than it hurts the EU. So if we couldn't get the deal we wanted before, how do you think it'll go then? Second thing, and this is the big one, if their immediate response is to say, don't worry, no deal is only temporary, that means that for the majority of that referendum, the no deal campaign will be arguing for a deal. You hear what I'm saying? A no deal campaign arguing for a deal. That is the most naked con in human history. And the worst thing is, it would be a repeat of 2016. The reason why the 2016 referendum was so bad is because, well, I often call it fighting on ice. Because Brexit hadn't been defined at all. Every time you criticise one version of Brexit, the Leave side would say, don't worry, we'll do Brexit in a different way. And so everybody just kept slipping and sliding all over the place, throwing punches they probably shouldn't have thrown. It was a mess. And the fact is, no deal is only temporary. There will be a deal at some point, but given that we don't know what it is, there is no guarantee that the people will like it more than staying in the EU. So once again, you'll have Nigel Farage saying that we'll have this great deal with the EU if only you vote his way, even though he's already been proven to be a liar. Now, we need a new referendum, we absolutely do, because if we leave with the deal we negotiated, which Brexit voters hate arguably more than Remainers, or we leave with no deal, which hurts the poorest in society most, we will never forgive each other as a society. So I say this to anybody, and I mean anybody, talking about a no deal versus EU membership referendum. If you don't get what that would do to this country, step aside.